Welcome back to Big Crown Energy. I am Angela, and today we are doing the Made Me Do It tag, where it's a list of 10 prompts started by Dragon Dilly, who kind of going through certain aspects that made me buy a deck. And I decided to do an Oracle version, as I have shared in a lot of tags recently, tarot. But I do have quite a few oracles, so I thought this would be a fun twist on it. So first is TarotTube Made Me Do It. I would definitely have to say it's the Glyph Sacred Symbols Oracle by Prism and Fleur. This is beautiful, well made, though not typically my aesthetic. There's the book. Gives you a history and the meaning of the card, so it's kind of interesting. And then they're oblong. These are the backs. And then here's the fronts. So as you can see, it's got a pinkish maroon tone color palette with gold kind of foiling on it. I do think this is a beautiful deck, cardstock as well, made. I haven't found a reason to use this yet, but I know that when it is ready to be used, it will be very beneficial. Comes with quite a few cards. Not sure how many. Very Egyptian. Probably could tell that by the glyphs title. So yeah, just a lot of imagery in this I just love. So that is the glyphs. The next prompt is My Heart Made Me Do It, and that is the Magical Spirit Oracle by Alexis Ragu. Again, excellent book. I would say my heart made me do this because it's very empowering. It is called The Brilliance of You. And it has a lot going on. It has a saying, a title, and keywords. Don't worry, darling, you'll find your way. I just think it has very empowering messages. To me, this is kind of like a cozy divine feminine oracle, if there's such a thing. The messages are sweet, but do have an edge to them. The artwork is interesting. And it has a few scullies. It's just kind of got this hippie vibe to it that I like. I don't have anything like it in my collection. It's funny where my tarot is very honed in what I like, kind of all over the place with oracles. I think it's, the difference is an oracle can do all kinds of things. It could have very specific themes. Not that a tarot can't. It's more like the artwork is the theme, whereas with the oracle, it's the words they use. It's more of a whole package thing. So the next thing is my head made me do it. And I had to say, it stays in this bag, because I don't think I have the box any longer. I've had this that long. And it is the Sacred Destiny, the OG. That's what I call it. Very good guidebook. And here's the backs. And it's just one keyword, but the imagery was very powerful. I think the keywords are pretty self-explanatory to where you wouldn't need keywords. I mean, they kind of are keywords on their own. This I've used many, many times and never had a moment that didn't resonate with me. I'm sure a lot of you probably have this one or have seen it, maybe had it and passed it along. It's a mass market. The Magical Spirit's also a mass market. Glyph you can get on Etsy. And this is done by Denise Lynn. And I'm sure many of you have seen this one, like I said. But this is the Sacred Destiny. And this definitely has my head, because it just goes straight to the point. I think the keywords fit the image, which is always a plus. There is that one. The next one is the title got to me, or made me do it, and that's The Cries of the Souls. I saw this on pre-order before I even knew of it. Oh, I mean, before it was even available. And just the title alone, and then when I read what it was for, saw a few images. This is definitely cuts to the core. So this is for, what am I trying to say? For wounds, kind of getting to some tough subjects that we don't always like to adventure. I would definitely say it's a shadow oracle. It's by Isabella Surf. And here is backs. Very simple. It's gilded. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of a dark brown. So it has a phrase and then kind of an affirmation to go with it. So negative free will. My free will helps me create my well-being. Narcissistic faults. I soothe my inner pain. Spiritual excuse. I listen to my inner being. Lack of self-love. I love myself for who I am today. It goes on and on. I do think the images fit what it's trying to express. Man, when I was using this hardcore, I was getting the secrets one a lot. I communicate honestly and authentically. I think I had a lot of subconscious things going on that my mind was keeping secret, and I needed to get them out. Wounded Inner Child. That's a good one. The other thing about this is it had a lot of kind of like trauma stuff around it, and I like that about this deck. So transgenerational karma. I am inspired by my family's history. So just it's very well rounded. I only use it when I'm in the mood for some hard truths. Definitely not a hug deck at all. And so that is Cries of the Souls, and that was the title, Made Me Do It. The next one is the artwork Made Me Do It, and that's the Sacred Wood Oracle, 44 card deck by Annie Stagg Gerard. I had followed her on Patreon as an oil painter when I was trying to learn oil paint. Did not realize that she had this deck until a few months after I ended the Patreon. Very nice hard book. Presentation is well done. What it is, it's a curated deck, so it's taken her pieces of artwork and turned it into a oracle deck. And her artwork is very surreal to me, otherworldly. So you get the image that she had previously done on its own with the title of it, and then a key phrase. So like the fern, connect with inner wisdom, calm after the storm, learn to forgive, toadstool dance, honor relationships, and so on and so forth. Oh, these are the backs. They're pretty beautiful backs. I have used this one. It's just beautiful, and the messages have been very spot on. You can see that detail. I don't know if you can see that detail is what I said. I don't know if my mic's picking up. It's early morning once again, so my voice is a little cracky. So that is the Sacred Wood Oracle, and that was the artwork Made Me Do It. The next one is the hype Made Me Do It. I was a little late to the game, but the hype finally got to me with Outgrow Yourself. This is actually a tarot and an oracle, but I find it's based on the Thoth card representation, so it'll have, instead of the actual suits and numbers and stuff, it has just the word in Thoth. But what really gets me is at the top, it has a question. Are you wasting your time? Or I guess not always a question. Find your purpose. The artwork is very interesting to me. Very primal. A lot of people with the hype say that, really gets in there deep, really is cutting. I've not found it to be that way. I have found it to be more empowering. What you allow will continue. So true. With the wilting flowers, definitely evokes that it's not a good thing. Harvest and manifest. You are a full sun plant. Your voice will guide you. Plant, forget, harvest. And so on and so forth. I like this also for body positively imagery. Because they're not, the bodies are not beautiful in the standard kind of thinking, but they are beautiful on their own. So that is Outgrow Yourself Oracle and Tarot. And that is by Akta Spellman. I'm a little late to the hype, but it is, to me, a hyped deck, but it's worth the hype. The next one is My Dark Side Made Me Do It. And I would definitely say the original Arthur Rackham Oracle. This is the second edition. So far, the rest of these have been indie that I have shown you. Let's see here. I don't even know if you can get this still. Kind of glossy. But it takes the Arthur Rackham artwork. This is the second deck I have. I had this originally. I've had this for years. But I have another one with his artwork on it. I just love his artwork. So it comes with a keyword and a phrase to go with it. This is another one I haven't really found a purpose for. I have used it a couple times, but it just hasn't kind of found its way into a true purpose. But I keep it because I'm very partial to it. I do love it. And you never know when you might, when it may find its purpose in the work I do. So there's that one. It's gilded. Here's the backs. And that one was my dark side. I don't know why I necessarily said this was a dark side, only because it is kind of dark imagery. And I think I might have picked it for dark side because I think when I do go to use it, it'll be for more shadowy kind of things. So yeah, that's kind of my thinking there. So the next one is The Inner Child Made Me Do It. And I don't know, this might be a funny one to put in this category, but it is the Wisdom of the Wilds Oracle. Oh, that's funny. This is on top. By Angie, written by Angie Solins, and artwork by Eva Boniva. Very typical layout of an Angie Solins poetry kind of art book. You might think it's funny. I love the edges. That I would say this was an inner child because now this is pretty docile, but some of these images are pretty darn creepy. But I think it's more of an inner child fantasy dreams, you know, those not quite nightmares, but just funky dreams we would have as kids, very imaginative. This turns out it's very good for shame work, which I think goes along with the inner child quite a bit. I'm kind of on that, working on my shame journey, so I have started using this for that. The phrases are very spot on. Like a melting candle unicorn. If that's not in a kid's fantasy, I don't know. You know, like nightmare or dream, I don't know. But this one definitely, to me, speaks inner child. And that's what I use it for. So it's kind of why, a little on the obvious side. Next is Impulse, Made Me Do It, and that would be Bloodlines Oracle. Everybody was kind of hot for a minute, and I did like the idea of it. It's landscapes, but they've been kind of AI enhanced, or digitally enhanced. I shouldn't say it was necessarily AI, digitally, and so it's a pretty good guidebook. These are the cards. I don't like the cardstock. but it is a matte gilding, which is nice. And they are just images of, I think what I've heard is he took photography. This is by Amory Abbott, and then he just digitally enhanced it. I have not used this in a reading. But I know a lot of folks were hyping it up, talking about how good it is, and it is good. Again, it's another one of those things. I have such a vast oracle collection that you can't use everything all the time. But it definitely was an impulse, because I would say I should have done a few more walkthroughs. Really thought of the intention of what I would use this for, because I don't know, I don't feel it's necessary in but it spoke to the dark. I like, darker things, but that's more tarot and an oracle, so I think, again, it's totally on me, and this is mass market, so I've definitely bought tarot decks that were more expensive that I felt even more like that about. Kind of like, why did I buy this? But definitely an impulse. 42 cards, not very big, but that's okay. And then the last one is number 10 is to create your own what made me do it one. And mine is being like a Pokemon, I gotta have it all, made me do it. And that is actually 4 decks. And these, I forget who I bought these from, are they're all by Bethany Van Rizjek. And I think the words are by Ellen Freeman. And they come from a specific, here's the box. This is the flower one. This is the first one I got. These are independent. Book is pretty decent. But the images are really very evocative. So this one, of course, is the flowers one. It's kind of like a digital collage. I do think it is unique. So this is the first one I got, and I just loved it so much. It has the name of the flower and then the keywords that I had to get. Okay, I always had and need is very subjective. I wanted to get the rest of the ones that have been done. So I got these 3 together. Same folks that made them. This is the mushroom one. And I think they did a good job of picking different words. They have different images in each of them. Each of them have a different feel. So, yeah. This tail end is more what brings the mushrooms out. And then guidebook is much the same. So that is the Mushroom Oracle. And then the Crystal Oracle. And yes, if they make more of them, I will get them. plus the crystal. And then the last one, I do actually think is my favorite, which was a surprise to me, is the Seashell Oracle. Same kind of thing. And I have actually used this one, and the flower one the most. I should do a video on pairing these. That might be kind of interesting. So yeah, that is the 4 that I have. I'll list below the website where you could get these, only since I can't remember for the life of me who produces these. So anyway, that is what I have for this article, Made Me Do It by Dragonfly Dilly, and I will post this soon, and hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you would, let me know if you do this tag, and if you would pick different things, if you would do it in tarot versus oracle. And thank you for joining me. Please like, comment, if again, like I said, and hit the like bell. Thank you very much. Blessings.